Today, we do want, since we have such a big listenership in the Santan Valley and throughout the world, but especially in this area of Arizona, if you have questions, we'd love for you to call in. You can join us on the air by calling 480-745-1033. That's 480-745-1033. That's the call-in number. You can join us on the air, or you can just give Joe the questions, and Joe will do his best to make sure he translates them for us, which you do a great job at that.
I'm very good at that, aren't I?
Excellent at that.
Amazing.
So Kim, let's talk about the Santan Center. It's located in the shops of Copper Basin, right there on Hunt Highway. And the center opened up in, 2009, 2010?
The center opened up in late 2008, but our first semester was spring 2009.
Spring 2009. So let's get your mic a little bit closer to you. There
Yeah,
you
that's
go.
one of those things when you turn like that, we got to get it set so it's
good. That's because she's got a great voice for radio.
Great voice.
So it opened up in the spring 2009.
Correct.
And when the center opened up, what kind of classes were offered at that point?
When the center first opened, we had a lot of the general ed classes. We had a couple math classes, a couple English classes. We had a handful of the ITV classes, but it was a very limited offering that first semester. And including the regular college classes, we also offered GED and ESL classes.
What was it like? You had just started at that time, but in an area that has 80,000 people, what was the impact? Were people coming in the doors excited about seeing when the logo went up on the building and the doors opened?
Yes, people would come in constantly asking, "What is this place? Is this a college? I've never heard of this place." So I think it was exciting for the residents to have something in addition to having to drive to Signal Peak and Coolidge or the Apache Junction campus, and having something in our community.
I think that one of the things too at that time, because this area was so new in the neighborhood, the traffic patterns, you have Johnson Ranch, and then a lot of people don't go east on Hunt or south on Hunt Highway. I guess technically south on Hunt Highway, because the orientation is Johnson Ranch, Queen Creek, Gilbert, Chandler, Phoenix metro area. Right. Basically, people are commuting. So all of a sudden, you have a shopping center and a new neighborhood down there, and this building pops up, and it really kind of started to stretch the area a little bit south.
Yeah, I think it took the community now down a little bit further into the Copper Basin area. And prior to working at CAC, I also live in Johnson Ranch, and I can tell you there was businesses that would come in for a day or two and then be done there in shops at Copper Basin. And not to say that the college had anything necessarily to do with it, but just being there the last 3.5 years, I've noticed that we have new businesses that are coming in, new restaurants, and they're not going out of business, they're staying. So hopefully, just by expanding in that area, we're keeping the businesses.
I had lived in Copper Basin when I first moved back in 2007. You're right, your businesses would come in and then they would go. And I think
overnight.
It was pretty rapid turnover there. They'd fill and then almost disappear, and it was sad that happened. But when CAC did go in, and it proves, that colleges are a really good commodity for communities and serve as anchors. Right. And it really had an impact, and you could see a lot of students are coming. After that first semester or into that second semester, which was the fall or over the summer, did the classes fill up pretty quick?
Yeah, after that first semester and the word got out, we really blossomed. I think we probably more than doubled our enrollment starting in that fall semester, and we were able to add more classes to the schedule and, offer to students more classes they could take that they could complete some degrees or transfer programs.
So then you kind of fast forward a few years, and what people didn't realize is that the space maxed out pretty quick.
It did, yes. We started we had 6 classrooms, and one of those classrooms was a computer lab. Two of those 6 were ITV classrooms. So we really only had 3 classroom spaces. So like you said, we did max out. So in spring of 2011, we actually opened in the expansion. That expansion added 3 additional classrooms and more office space for staff and faculty.
There's more of a presence. When the center first opened up, there were some offices, but now there's faculty around. It just really was a need. So it's always a lot of life. Centers sometimes are kind of satellites. You may have 1 or 2 people in them that colleges do just to kind of get out into remote areas. But this is, it's kind of a microcosm of what CAC is.
It is. I mean, I would definitely say we're kind of like a mini campus. There's a couple services that we unfortunately don't offer, but for the most part, we have a computer lab, we have a testing center, we have academic advising, registration services. We do have currently one full-time faculty that is officed at the Santan Center, and for the fall we're going to add an additional full-time faculty. So it gives that feel of a real campus, and this is just kind of, I think, a prelude, like you said, to moving on to the larger campus that will be built in the Santan Valley.
Oh, that's the really exciting part. I think, Joe, you got a question?
Yes, Red from Coolidge would like to know, when is it too late to register for this semester?
That's a good question. Technically, the last day of registration is Saturday, August 18th. Campuses, I know Signal Peak, Apache Junction, our center will be open from 9 to 1 to do that last-minute registration. And then in the event you've already registered for classes, but you want to make some changes or add additional classes, you can do that first week of school.
And then CAC also offers late start classes that start at various times, a lot of the times midway through the semester.
I mean, is it true that you can pretty much any time enter a class? I mean, obviously, if you're in a curriculum.
No, not necessarily.
So you can't?
You can't. There's a few open, they're called open entry, open exit classes, and those are some of the computer classes that are offered online, but not usually. Usually you have to start either at the beginning of the semester or, like Tom said, a late start class. There are a few. I know there was a few in the past where a couple math classes would start at different times in the semester.
For somebody to ask the question like this, would it be best that they come in and talk to an advisor?
I would definitely recommend the first semester that you're attending CAC to meet with an advisor so that you know what classes you need, you know what program you're going to be taking courses in, and you make sure you're registering for the correct courses, because there's nothing worse than getting ready to graduate and realizing, oh, I shouldn't have taken that class, and then realizing you're going to be there another semester. So, you don't have to necessarily visit the advisor every single semester, but that first semester to get your classes mapped out, and then the following semesters, if you have questions, you can see an advisor, or you can go online, register, as long as you know that you're taking the correct classes for your degree program.
We're talking with Kim Verdugo, the site coordinator for Central Arizona College's Santan Center. And Kim, let's talk about your role a little bit, because you say site coordinator, but you do a lot of different things, from managing the center to being out into the community.
That's right.
And talk a little bit about what your role is at CAC.
Well, when we first opened the Santan Center, I was a program assistant. There was an outreach coordinator. So there was 2 of us full-time there. The rest of the employees we had are part-time. And currently, I'm actually the only full-time employee at the Santan Center. So that kind of means I wear a lot of hats. As a site coordinator, I kind of oversee any building issues that might come up, scheduling of the courses, oversight of our registration staff. And then I also am going out into the community and doing outreach to high school students and different venues such as chamber meetings, and just getting, recruiting and doing outreach and letting people know that CAC is here in the Santan Valley.
Is it really all PR when it comes down to it, that you're just getting the word out, kind of planting those seeds for the area?
Yeah, that's true. We have some great high school programs and scholarships for high school students, and that's one thing I love, getting out there and letting the students know that, letting the parents know that, because a lot of people, I think, before we came to this location, didn't realize the opportunities that they have in CAC. And now that the word's out there, more people know it, and I think that's driving them to our center and location.
The area has grown, and CAC's come in, and when you have like a place like Signal Peak or even Superstition Mountain campus up in Apache Junction, you have established places, physical locations that have been there for a couple of decades,
right,
and schools and a community. When you have a community that's so new like this, even the high schools you deal with locally weren't here 5 years ago.
Right.
So talk about that. What are some of the things that you do to engage the high schools?
We go out to the high schools and do probably for the fall semester, we'll be going out and talking to high school students about just starting their college career. You know, they're starting their last year in high school. They need to know what's available to them, what they need to do. I also go out right before the summer semester starts and give the students information about the First Step program that we have, which allows students in high school, juniors and seniors, to take up to 7 credits for no cost in the summer. So, you know, we want to bring them to our doors. We want to show them what we have to offer.
The high schools in the area. So if people see you pop up, where would be your territory at schools that you would visit? What are some of the schools?
Currently, I do outreach to Poston Butte High School, Santan Foothills High School, and also Combs High School. That's probably one of the challenges being here in the Santan Valley, is that we have 3 different school districts that feed into the Santan Valley, and that's not including any charter schools that are new or going to open their doors. So it's interesting. Just, you know, those are the 3 high schools, but again, it's the challenge sometimes of staying up to date because they're all on different schedules, you know, but just getting out there to those 3 different high schools currently.
In the area, when you're making these visits, some of these schools, I can imagine the high school graduating classes are probably fairly new. Some of them probably just had their first ones recently or are going to have their first ones.
Right. I know Poston Butte, they had their first graduating class this last May. So that was you know, that was the first time we've ever been out to Poston Butte and offered the seniors their Promise for the Future scholarships and their academic scholarships. So it was exciting to see that and see that, you know, those are students that started there and in their freshman year, and now they're graduated. Now we see them at the Santan Center.
Is it important when you have such a new community like this? Do you feel to embed CAC, like it's a prime opportunity right now? You don't have to come in and kind of sort of break down the old guard or some of the habits because everybody's so new.
Right.
You can kind of get them and say, hey, we're right here.
Right, that's true. And, you know, being a member of the Santan Valley and living here, like, I feel passionate about it because I know my children, they're going to have the opportunity to go to CAC and use some of the scholarships. And this is my community too. And just having that resource for our community to help that grow and, you know, educate our future and hopefully bring more businesses and just kind of feed on that, on education.
We're talking with Kim Verdugo, the site coordinator for Central Arizona College's Santan Center. Tom DiCamillo here along with Joe Carrero. And one of the things that we want to talk about is how much is there excitement as people are finding out that we're going to be doing the groundbreaking and building a new campus, and you have students coming in, and I'm sure word is spreading.
Right, that's true. Usually people will ask, where's it going to be? When's it going to be open? And I'll tell them, well, the first phase is scheduled to be open in the fall of 2013, and I believe the first phase is roughly 75,000 square feet, which is probably more than 4 to 5 times the space we have available now. And those are going to be real buildings, you know, with all the services of a college. So people are excited. And one thing I like to do is when I go out to the high schools, especially for students like juniors, or now they'll be seniors this year, is to tell them when you make that decision to come to CAC, you're going to be able to actually attend a campus. So it gets them excited. And when I tell them where it's located, it's close to home. You don't have to drive more than a few miles. They like that.
It's and for those that don't know, we will be doing a groundbreaking here in the fall, and the land that this will be built on is if you take Bella Vista east off of Hunt Highway, just go past Ganzel, right at the railroad tracks there, across the tracks and on the left hand side. In fact, there is some work going on out there. You see some of the trucks doing some of the prelim stuff. Yeah. But it is really exciting to have a campus. It really does change the image. Not that there's anything wrong with a center, but when you have a center or a facility in a shopping center and you have those students that want a college experience, the facilities offer a lot, but some of the student life type stuff you can't offer. You just don't have the space.
Right.
So this is, what do you kind of see down the line here and when this one opens? What are some of the opportunities that CAC has to offer?
Well, I think just like you said, like being more of a college experience, having student life, having full services. Again, we're a little bit limited with some of the services that we offer, but having those services available to the students, maybe having a student lounge where students can get to know other students, and just really being able to connect and feel like you're a part of something.
You see CAC as a key player in building community for an area that needs that?
Oh, definitely. I think that's going to be, in addition to the businesses that are slowly starting to pop up, and they talk about the housing maybe making a comeback. I think having a community college where students don't have to leave our area to become educated, they can stay here. We also have CAC has different partnerships with NAU, ASU, so that allows the students to stay local and not have to drive. And hopefully, as time goes on, we'll build more businesses and they'll be able to stay in their community and live and stay and work and play here.
When students come in right now, if somebody comes into the Santan Center right now and says, they walk in and say, okay, I've never been to college, 30 years old, what can I expect when I walk in the door?
We usually will kind of figure out what it is you need, what you're looking for, and show you the different programs that are offered. A lot of times people come in and have no idea. I want to go back to school, but I don't know what I want to do. So a lot of times we'll allow them to talk to one of the academic advisors, refer them to our website. We have many different programs, I think over 75 different programs that are offered through CAC, and then allow them to come back and meet with the advisor and kind of give them an idea what they're looking to do.
You're listening to CAC Live on KQCK. Tom D. Camillo along with Joe Carrero, and we're speaking with Kim Verdugo, site coordinator at the Santan Center. And if you have a question and you want to give us a call, 480-745-1033. That's 480-745-1033. And we are here every Thursday and just getting excited about what's coming up in the Santan area. And Joe, I think you got a couple of questions from the audience. And
we do. Let's take the first one here from Randy. She wants to know, do you offer live art, and where can I check out your classes online? I couldn't read my own writing there.
We do not offer live art at the Santan Center. We do have a drawing class, as well as it's a drawing 1, and painting 1 overlay class that's offered in the morning. To find our classes, you can visit our website, www.centralaz.edu. Under schedule, it'll allow you to choose the different locations. If you choose the Santan Center, that'll bring up all of our classes that are currently being offered for fall at the Santan Center.
And if you're interested in live art, check out the Creative Arts website, and I believe they do have live art down at the Signal Peak campus.
Right.
I don't know if they have it. They might have it up at the Superstition Mountain campus too. So there's a lot of options. If you're not familiar with CAC, there's 10 locations throughout Pinell County. So check out the website. You might find something. If it's not offered in the Santan Valley, other areas are not that far, not that long a drive. And but the classes, when it came time to double the space or add that space, did that fill up pretty quick too? It seems to.
It did. One of the class spaces that we opened was a science room. We had a room designated for science previously, but it wasn't as good as I think it could have been as far as space for equipment and storage. So when they opened the expansion, there was a new science room, which allowed for storage. So we have all the anatomy, physiology dummies, skulls, body parts, skeletons, and those classes they fill up every semester. We have actually a Biology 201 and 202, and both those classes are full for the fall semester.
So there is a science room. It's not a full-blown science room.
It's not full-blown.
But you're able to do a lot in there.
Yeah, biology classes, they offer, we actually offer a chemistry class that's offered at Poston Butte High School. And the reason for that is they use the school lab because it's designed and it meets all the OSHA requirements and what we couldn't offer there in the Santan Center. So students are eligible. Any student can come in, register for that class, and they just attend Poston Butte too.
Wow, that's a great. So a lot of what you do too is helping build partnerships in the area for something like this, where maybe we can't do that particular class at the center, but you can partner with like a school that can do it.
And they have the facility to offer it. So, and it's good too because that can draw in some of the high school students who are eligible to use some of the like the early college program where they can take courses during their school year, and they can stay on site there at the high school and take the class right after school.
That's a really neat program. Joe, you're getting lots of phone calls.
Yeah, we're getting a few here. Penny Larson wants to know, how much do you charge per credit hour, and do I have to have graduated high school to attend?
Another good question. Currently, the fee is $72 per credit, and you do not have to have attended high school to take courses through CAC. It gets a little tricky this year. Things have changed a bit. If you're looking to apply for financial aid, this year the financial aid has decided that you have to have a high school diploma or graduate with a GED in order to qualify for federal funds. So if you're looking for that, then I'd probably direct you to maybe complete one of our GED programs before you start. But if you're not looking for federal aid and you're looking to do something fun, then no, you do not need to have a high school diploma.
If you're looking for credit classes, the best thing to do is, if you're not sure, is to come in and speak with an advisor. We have a lot of personal enrichment and those kind of classes through community ed, that some of those are taught there, those kind of classes that anybody can take. But if you're looking at trying to work your way toward a degree or something, the best thing to do is come in and talk to an advisor and let us help you.
Right. Like we said before, that first semester, especially when you're doing a degree or certificate program, meet with the advisor and make sure that you're on the right track.
Give out what's the address for the Santan Center?
The address for the Santan Center is 2474 East Hunt Highway, and we're in Suite 100.
And it's located right behind Barrow's Pizza.
Yes.
And so if you just say that, you kind of know.
That's our landmark. We're behind Barrow's Pizza. Okay.
So, Joe, you got another question?
Yes, Jana from Pittsburgh. Her job move has been delayed by 3 weeks, and she wants to attend. She's been to the website and wants to know, is there any exceptions to starting late? Ironically, we were just talking about that.
I think probably the best thing there is to figure out what your course is that you're interested in, talk to an advisor, and again, it's probably a course-by-course basis. A lot of them know, some of them, depending on the course, maybe or yes. So the best thing to do is find out what you're interested in and talk to an advisor,
right.
And they'll either they can help you or maybe even lead you to the department that can kind of look at what you're doing. So
and maybe if you can't take all of them, maybe you can at least take a couple.
And
who knows?
They might be online classes too that you're able to do that. So there's a lot of options, and that's what community college, especially CAC, is all about. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to talk more with Kim Verdugo of CAC's Santan Center. You're listening to CAC Live on KQCK in the Santan Valley.
This is Mike McCord. I would like to serve as your Pinal County Supervisor, District Number 2. With zero opportunities for error, I understand the needs of one of the fastest growing communities in the United States. This is where my experience in education come into play. I hold a master's degree in business administration and have worked as an operations manager for a paramedic service, as well as currently serve as the executive director for a public charter school in Pinal County. Vote for me, Mike McCord, on August 28th, 2012.
Mike McCord, leading the way. This message was paid for by the Mike McCord for County Supervisor Committee.
Are you experiencing computer problems? Is your computer running slow? Bogged down with viruses and spyware? You need a reliable and knowledgeable, trustworthy computer service company. Contact Computers, Networks, and More, located in Santan Valley. Get your computer or laptop running in top condition by a certified technician with 20-plus years experience and beta tester from Microsoft. Computers, Networks, and More provides repairs and solutions to any computer-related issue, whether it's software, installation, troubleshooting, updates, or tune-ups. You can trust Computers, Networks, and More. Contact Jeff Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. to schedule an appointment. We can have you up and running quickly, usually within 48 hours. Located in Santan Valley, Computers, Networks, and More. We're here for you. Contact Jeff at 480-729-8899. That's 480-729-8899.
Our family pets are such a big part of our lives. That's why Kelly's Critter Clips of Queen Creek and Sun Lakes has been providing pet grooming services for over 10 years. Your dog's comfort is very important to us, so we take the time to treat your pet with care, love, and professional attention it deserves. We welcome any size and breed and feature shampoo and conditioning, styling, flea and tick dips, ear cleaning, nail trimming, and so many other services that will leave your pet looking good and smelling good and feeling great, all at an affordable price. Located in Queen Creek and Sun Lakes, call now for an appointment, 480-655-5066. Kelly's Critter Clips. When you visit Hill Family Dentistry in Santan Valley, dentist Dr. Tim Hill provides each patient with personalized, gentle care that you deserve. Our entire team is dedicated to providing you and your family with services that will make you smile. With a full range of general, cosmetic, and specialty dentistry services that will keep you and your family smiling. Our commitment to our community is to provide outstanding oral health. Hill Family Dentistry is located on 36359 Ganzel Road in Santan Valley, diagonally across from Banner Ironwood Hospital. Evening and weekend appointments available. We accept most insurances and have in-office policies available for non-insured. Contact us today at 480-588-8127. Hill Family Dentistry.
Welcome back to CAC Live. Tom D. Camillo, Joe Carrero. We are live in the Santan Valley studios of KQCK. It's Thursday morning, and joining us today is Kim Verdugo, the site coordinator at Central Arizona College's Santan Center. And Kim, you're rising in terms of the number of calls on our guest list, which is good. But it's got to be exciting. For somebody like you that came in when the center first started, and to watch it grow and to feel part of that.
Oh, definitely. And we've had students that have been with us from the beginning and just watched them grow. Like, I remember one student, she started in the GED program, came back when she was graduated, used the GED scholarship, came back, completed her associate's degree, and she stopped by. So it is neat. It's neat to see how people can, improve their life through education.
Talk about the GED program. Ronnie Douglas does a great job. They're based at the Casa Grande Center, but there's GED program is extended out to this area for people that need it.
It is. Every semester we've been able to offer GED and ESL classes. For the fall semester, we have 2 GED classes that we're offering, Mondays and Wednesdays, 9 a.m. till 12 p.m., and Monday, Wednesday evenings from 6 to 9 p.m. Registration begins on August 2nd. We usually fill up within the first day or two. We are limited to 25 students per class, but it usually fills up really quickly. This year is going to be a little different. They're going to be doing some testing ahead of time. So they'll be doing testing, I believe it's the week before school. I think it's the Wednesday before school starts. So students can, when they register for the GED classes, they'll come back in to do their pre-testing. That way when they get to class, they won't spend so much time doing the testing. They'll be prepared to sort of move into what subjects students need to work on before they can take the GED test. You
gave the one example previously, but students going through this GED program and doing it at a college and it really helps them transition. They probably get the sort of the emotional push or confidence to say, hey, I'm already going to college. I got my GED, but now why don't I just stay here and continue on?
Right, and CAC offers a great incentive for that. It's the GED scholarship. Students who complete the GED test at any of our locations, currently we're offering at Apache Junction or at Superstition Mountain or at Signal Peak in Coolidge. They complete the test. Just for completing the test, they're able to receive a one-semester scholarship.
Wow.
Following the completion of the test. If they score an overall score of 580 or higher, which is relatively high but very possible, they receive a 4-semester scholarship.
Wow.
So they can earn their 2-year degree. And just for completing the GED test.
That's an outstanding incentive. So you have somebody that never graduated high school, wants to change their life, comes into CAC. You guys help them get started in the GED program. They take the test, and all of a sudden this door opens up where they're going to college and getting a 2-year degree.
Yep, and those same students, like I spoke of earlier, the one student, and we see them all the time. They'll be there in the GED program, and then they'll be in with, I got the scholarship, I passed my test, I got the scholarship, and then we enroll them into college courses. So it's exciting. It changes, I think, a lot of lives, especially now with the economy. We saw a lot of people coming in who'd never gotten their high school diploma, so they're back. They want to get that GED. They want to complete a degree or a certificate in college, and they're coming in.
Do you think that's a testimony to how CAC interacts with these students, that it makes them comfortable and they're there, and it's not sort of this, you come in and it's this isolated sort of building, and the people are unfriendly and they feel helpless. They kind of come in and everybody sort of embraces them, say, hey, we're here to help you.
That's exactly true. And we they come in and they're treated just like any other student. We have 2 great GED instructors that teach at the Santan Center. And the other thing that's interesting too is a lot of people have maybe a preconceived notion that GED classes are only kids who just dropped out of high school. But that's not true. They range from, sometimes some are 16, but they range into older, 50 something, and it's such a variety of people in your class that it kind of, you don't feel like you're the only person that might be 16 or might be 50. You have a group of people that are all a little bit different.
Do you sometimes have people that are older, 40s, 50s, even older, complete the GED and then want to start taking college classes?
Yes, we do.
What a life transformation that must be for them.
Wow.
It is. And maybe it's something they've been looking to do their whole life. They just haven't had the opportunity. And sometimes we've had people where they've been laid off of their job, especially in the last couple years, and the door's open. Now they have a choice. Now they can make the choice to complete the GED that they didn't complete 20 years ago, but they've always wanted to. So sometimes bad things can actually open the door to better things.
And if CAC wasn't in this area, what would they do? It'd probably be more challenging for them to either drive, or their options would be limited.
That's exactly true. And where the center is located, about the Signal Peak campus is about 25 miles away, and Apache Junction campus is 22 miles away. So for people who have the challenge of transportation, they wouldn't be able to get there. But because we're open and we're able to offer to them in our local community, I think that speaks volumes. In addition to, we're usually filled by the first day registration opens. So, but also in addition to GED, we do offer the ESL classes. Those classes are offered for the fall semester. They'll meet on Tuesdays and Thursday evenings from 6 to 9 p.m. and the registration is the same as GED. It starts on August 2nd.
That's tremendous. Joe, I think you got some more calls. You're scurrying over there with that pen.
We do. That's right. Let's see. We've got Cynthia from Gilbert, who took a ride out to check out the Santan campus, could not find it. But I asked her, well, where did you go? She says, well, I went as far as Fry's. She's from Gilbert, not familiar with the wide, expansive area out here. Why don't you take that one?
Yeah, that sometimes does happen. We sometimes will get calls from people traveling from Gilbert or another, out in Mesa or Apache Junction. Sometimes we end up staying on the phone with them until they actually find our location. But it can be tricky, especially if you don't know the area.
It gets to that one point where it seems like you're just kind of driving into nowhere.
It does. And, it's gotten better over the years with if you Google it, because in the past, you'd try to Google it and it wouldn't come up or it'd be somewhere entirely different. So that's gotten better, but, yeah, we definitely run into that challenge sometimes of people not realizing how far we are out.
She missed it by, 2 miles?
2 miles.
2 miles.
But the nice
You
thing
were almost there.
Almost.
Once they come, though, they never forget how to get back. So.
And there's a lot of different options. I think Hunt Hideaway's got some widening going on that they're preparing. So if you're coming from, I always tell people, if you're coming from, say, the Maricopa County area and through there, you come up Ellsworth and it bends into Hunt Highway and keep going till you hit Barrow's Pizza on the left. And right behind it is the center. It's about 2 miles past the main section of Johnson Ranch in there. So when CAC moves, you'll be able to see Post and Butte High School. It's almost diagonal. The properties on either side of the railroad tracks is Ganzel, really Ironwood, and Bella Vista. And that'll be very visible because it'll be, right now there's nothing else around it. It's just an open field. And
Cynthia wanted to know if we could do a shout out to the employees over there at the Mesa YMCA.
Oh, that's terrific. The Mesa YMCA. Hey, thanks for listening to us. And if you know where the Copper Basin YMCA is, then you'll find the Santan Center because you have to pass it to get to the Copper Basin YMCA.
A little hidden tip there for you.
Yeah, so that's great. We love to hear. Come out, check out Pinal County in the Santan Valley area and CAC. It's a tremendous institution. It just offers a lot of services, and we are growing.
We've got Bart Miller from Florence would like to know, do I need to make an appointment to take a campus tour?
It would probably be preferable, but of course if you're just driving by and you want to stop by and come in and say hello, we'd be happy to give you a tour.
If you're talking about the Santan Center,
Right.
and if you're talking about Signal Peak campus,
He's
which
talking
are
about
big,
Santan.
Santan, yeah, that's right. It's right on there.
Signal Peak, you do helicopter tours, don't you?
We do astronomy tours.
Nice.
So, for the Santan Center, if somebody need to call, what is the phone number there?
We actually have two different numbers. We have both a 52 and a 480 line, so I'll give you both. It's 480-677-7825, or you can call 520-494-6725, and those are both the numbers to our front desk.
And because it's funny, I always joke, 'cause where I used to live, I looked out my back door, and the area code changed right over the field.
Oh, I guess
Arizona
so, huh?
Farms Roads
Right.
is the line between the 512
Right.
and the 49 and the 480 numbers. So, it's the Santan Center is just a place that's really obviously for CAC because of the number of people in this area. Unincorporated land, but if this was a city, it'd be by far the largest area in Pinal County, one of the largest in the state of Arizona. But having a campus here and opening its services, I can imagine, Kim, that when the campus opens, there's just going to be a lot of curiosity for people to come by.
I think that's true. I think people are going to be probably wandering down that road and see CAC and come on to the campus. So, yeah, I definitely agree.
The programs that CAC offers. Let's talk a little bit about the community ed and some of those type of programs. Obviously, we have the credit ones, but what are some of those types of classes? I think you mentioned, is the drawing class, is that a credit class?
The one we have in the morning is a credit class, but they're also offering a community education drawing class that'll be offered in November, and that is just open to the public. I believe it's a flat fee for the course, and there's no prerequisites. Anyone who is interested in it can come in and take the class.
Is there an age minimums that is for young people? High school for community ed type classes. Are there age minimums? Or people, if they have somebody that's young that wants to take a class, they probably should call.
Yeah, they can call us and make sure that the class is appropriate for people that are a little bit on the younger side. We've had students that have come in that have been under 18 that have taken courses before.
So the best thing to do is to contact the institution, contact CAC, and find out, because there is a lot of diversity in the programs that are offered. You talked a little bit about the ESL program. Explain what that is. What is ESL?
ESL is for English language learners, so it's for people that want to improve, if English is not their first language and they want to improve their English skills. That would be a course that they would want to take.
So it's not necessarily for somebody looking for their GED.
No. We usually have different levels of learners. Sometimes we have someone who may come in that really doesn't have any English skills, but we might have someone who comes in that is a little more versed and is able to, maybe have a conversation. But definitely you're learning English as opposed to learning all the different, math, science, and what's going to be required for the GED test.
Okay, so that's just another way for people that if they get through that gives them an opportunity to be more successful taking college classes, which obviously are mostly in English, and or going through the GED program,
right,
and getting being more successful there.
And that can be an opportunity if someone is, doesn't know English well but wants to take an ESL class. They could complete that when they're ready and feel confident, then maybe move on to take a GED class. If they don't have a GED, then move on to take college courses.
Do you get a sense of when we say the Santan area, but do you get a sense where the students are coming from? Are they coming from outside the Santan area too? Or does it seem mostly in this area?
I would say the majority of them are coming from this area. We do have some people that come from Florence, but most of the people are from the Santan Valley.
Do you have some trickle effect over from Maricopa, Queen Creek, Maricopa County, or there's a lot of options over there?
There is. We do get some people from Queen Creek. I think when the actual campus opens, it's going to probably draw more people that are from Maricopa County, probably more people from Mesa and Apache Junction because of the location. And like we talked earlier, it's beyond Johnson Ranch. Most people don't know about if you're not from this area. So I think with the location of where the campus will be, I think that's going to be a direct route into Santan Valley, and it will open up the doors for more people from outside of Santan Valley to attend.
It'd be easier to tell people, take Ironwood to the end,
yes,
turn left.
That's simple.
That's
right?
it.
That's very simple. Yeah, and it's like we talk, like people who don't know this area just do not understand where things are at. They don't realize that it actually goes further.
It does.
You know?
It does. So I tell people with the campus in Apache Junction, the Superstition Mountain campus, and with the new opening, well, how do you get there? Well, take the 60, get off at Idaho, go north. Or if you're down in Maricopa County, you know where Broadway is? Yeah, just follow it. It goes right into the campus. It's very simple.
Right. And the neat thing, I was driving up Ironwood the other day about 5 o'clock, and I could see the reflection off the new copper roof at Superstition Mountain. So I think that will draw you. So people look for the copper in the sky, and it'll draw them to the campus. But you could see it. It was actually pretty neat.
It's I've heard that from a number of people on the 60 that can see that roof out there at the campus, which will the campus has been there for a number of years, but the addition to it, the opening will take place this fall, and it's going to be really exciting. Joe, I think you got another question.
We do. Mike from Globe wants to know, is there a culinary program available at Santan? If not, where is the closest campus?
We do not have a culinary program at the Santan Center, but there is one at the Signal Peak campus.
And it's a tremendous program. In fact, we're going to have Carol Bennett on in a couple weeks, and she took students to Italy this summer for classes. So that is, and there's a full kitchen. So it is at the Signal Peak campus. From Globe, that's a little bit of a drive, but there are some ways to get there that aren't bad from Globe. Just come down 79 and over.
A lot of people drive down from Globe for just the karaoke out here.
There you go. And so there is some ways. Actually, with the way the highway opened up there from Superior to the Florence Junction, it's cut down time-wise a lot. I know I've driven that back from the Aravaipa campus, and I was amazed how quickly I could get from the from the Santan Center to Superior. Right. It chopped off a lot of time. So we're talking with Kim Verdugo, who's the site coordinator for the Santan Center here in the Santan Valley, and talking about the different types of programs. What other community ed type programs are going on? Or?
For the fall semester, we have there's going to actually be a Medicare class to learn about different Medicare, it's supposed to be, I believe it's October, which will be probably a good timing for when we get some of our winter visitors back, which are kind of in that age range. They're offering a medical and medicinal edible plants.
What?
So that should be interesting.
Edible plants,
desert plants.
How to survive in the desert.
Yeah, so actually I thought about attending it because it might be kind of interesting.
I want to go to that one.
We'll hook
I
you up
like
with
eating
it.
plants.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah, I could see Joe would come back for the show in a couple weeks, and he's pulling plants out of his thing, testing them. I just don't want to find you keeled over eating something you're not supposed to.
I have to tell you a really quick, short, funny story. I had a lady come out, drove up to the gate, wanted to see the animals, so I'm like, yeah, no problem, come on back. So I gave her a tour. I kind of walked over to the deer area, and the deer started walking over, and she reached down and she pulled some weeds out, and she, started feeding the deer, and she goes, wow, these are really good. And I'm like, cool, that's cool. Well, she pulled a big old handful out, and she started eating it. And I kind of looked at her, and she goes, no, I'm serious, they're excellent. And she goes, and if you put them in a bottle of olive oil, she goes, they're fantastic. She goes, I eat these every day. They were just regular weeds. Really? I swear, desert weeds. This woman loves them. I thought that was an interesting story. She might be at that. Maybe she'll be the teacher.
She's the teacher, exactly.
You know what? It's more. I actually had a friend of mine that worked on a DuPont estate in southeastern Pennsylvania. And DuPont's big in Delaware, and the whole family.
Right.
And he was the master gardener, and they had a house on it. And we go out and down to the woods. There were woods on the property in a pond, and he goes, "Hey, look, this is poison ivy," and he rubs it.
Come on
his arm, and I'm like, "What the heck are you doing?" And he goes, "Watch," and he goes, right next to it is the antidote plant, and he rubs it on his arm, and he never got it. And he said, "That's how it works." I went, really? No, I'm not doing that because I wouldn't. I'd be panicking, not finding the antidote plant.
There'd be poison oak right next to it, huh?
You're right, exactly.
You'd be like, hey, I'm going to rub the antidote.
I'd end up in the hospital. My wife would be yelling at me and stuff. What are you doing? But it was interesting. So there are things when you take classes like that.
Yeah, right.
You'd be surprised at what you can learn.
By the way, those weeds tasted terrible. She actually convinced me to try one, and it was not good.
It's. I'm glad Marie wasn't. Yeah, I'm glad Marie wasn't around to see that. So.
Yeah, exactly.
So, are there I think sometimes there's been photography classes?
We've had photography classes in the past. We don't currently have any scheduled for fall. I will tell you about one that I'm pretty excited about that we're hoping to put on in January. It's an extreme couponing.
I am
class.
definitely.
There you go.
I love that.
It's during a lunchtime. It's one of our the brown bag lunch series. So, but we talked to some other ladies in the office, and someone made that suggestion.
That's
and we were
right.
like, we gotta do that.
I got to know about that. And ladies, if you do that, I will be there with you.
And it fits right in with the Walmart price
I'm
match thing
serious.
that you do.
I'm into that.
Well, maybe we can put some of that stuff up on the website or on your website.
We
as
need
well.
to integrate that for sure.
That's and Joe does
you
that.
count
We're
me.
sponsors of that.
That's
and
right.
Joe does that whole Walmart price match where you can go there. Explain what that is if people are.
Yeah, if you go to our website, CAClive.com, on the homepage, you'll see a Walmart grocery cart. And if you click on that cart, it'll just give you a quick explanation of how to use it. It's very simple. Then you click on it again, and then it gives you a list of 6 of the major grocery stores in the area, and actually across the valley, really. And it gives you a list of everything that's on sale that week. And then there's specials like during Easter, there's a ham. We put a ham and turkey comparison guide, stuff like that. But all the sales for the week, and then how much you're saving, and then you can take that sheet, because it's very nice and neat, to Walmart, and you don't have to drive to 6 stores, and you don't have to pull out all the newspapers. You can just take that sheet and price match everything.
And they don't require you to have the newspaper.
They don't.
No. See, and what's nice about
Because they love us.
having a class like the extreme couponing and what Joe's talking about with that price match, it's one of those things that's a need. I mean, today people are looking a way to save money, but it's a need. I bet you that thing will fill up.
I want
quickly.
6 carts of groceries for $7.12.
Who doesn't like to brag about their great deals?
You're right. I save at least $100 every time I shop.
I think my best deal, I got 8 tubes of Crest toothpaste for like 32 cents. I paid the tax on it, and that was a very exciting day.
I was standing behind a woman at Walmart. And you know what? The worst part was I waited like an hour because I was so impressed. She had this really neat coupon organizer. It cost her $42.
Wow.
And she must have had 8-9 carts. It was unreal.
Yeah, I was a grocery store clerk and did checkout back in the day when you did it by hand. You people were crushing me when I was in line,
I'll
especially
bet.
at the holidays. But no, it's a great, and that's what's neat about CAC. If somebody has an idea for a class or a need, are they welcome to kind of come in and bring in the ideas?
Of course.
I never knew that. That's great.
As far as like community education classes, we're always looking for something that will draw people to the center and that we can offer to our community. There is somebody that actually puts that on, but you can, even if you have the skills to teach that type of class, you can bring the idea in, and if we can get the class, get students in it, I believe they even pay for the instructors to teach those classes.
See, that's what's really neat. Is one of the things about a community college is the flexibility. Mm-hmm. And being able to do that. Is there stuff going on year-round? I mean, obviously in the summertime it's probably a little bit less, but it doesn't close up shop during the summer. There's stuff going on.
Yes, we're open year-round, other than the regular school holidays and school breaks. It's right now the summer session 2 will be ending next week, so we'll have a little bit of about 2 weeks before school starts again, but this is probably one of our more busy times with fall registration is always more busy than summer typically, and so we have those folks that are kind of coming in by the droves now.
That registration time, especially the week leading up to where final registration is, do you guys get pretty slammed with people coming in the door?
We do. Currently, we're booked out for advising, our academic advising appointments until right now about a week and a half out.
Wow.
So, we're just this is when it gets busy and people. We actually start registration in March, but a lot of people may not have finished their classes or are ready to decide on what they want for the fall. So it's this time I think people realize, oh, it's almost August, got to get in and get my classes.
So if people are coming in now for advising, the best thing to do is call to make an appointment.
Yeah, at the Santan Center, we do it by appointment because we do only have 2 part-time academic advisors. I know at the different locations, Signal Peak and Coolidge, sometimes they have walk-ins as well as appointments. So, but at our center, it is by appointment, so they can call us, and we'll make sure they get the next available appointment.
Okay. If somebody's coming in they've made an appointment, they're coming in, what should they bring with them to be prepared?
If it's a brand new student, that student wants to make sure that they do placement testing before they meet with an advisor. That way they'll be prepared and ready to register the day they meet with the advisor. If they're a student who has have taken courses at other colleges and they want to bring in those transcripts, if they have official, that's fantastic. If they don't and can only maybe bring unofficial, like something they printed off the school website, that'll work for their first semester, and they can use those unofficial transcripts the first semester, and then they need to make sure they get their officials in the following semester.
All right, Joe, you got another call.
I do. Nancy Fuller from Santan, who wanted me to make sure I mentioned, is a regular, loyal user of our coupons online, or our sheets online, our grocery guide, and wants to know how she can make sure she does not miss out, and is in a coupon club and has 9 other ladies in the area in that club.
Oh, okay.
Wants to make sure she and they don't miss out on getting in on this coupon class if you have it.
Oh, well, we don't have a date scheduled. It's supposed to be sometime in January, but
Do you have notifications?
Go ahead, Tom.
Yes. It's a part of the Brown Bag Luncheon
It
Series,
is,
right?
yes.
I think Dora Tompkins is doing that. If you go to the CAC website, look and just look up.
You know what would even be better? If we put it on our website, too,
We'll do that.
along with that, so people can, when they go to the coupon and get that, they can see there's a class when it comes up. I like that idea.
We'll do we'll do that when Dora schedules the actual event. It's usually like a noon to 1 o'clock
It
type
is. It's
event in there, and we'll make sure. And in fact, if that person, what was her name?
Nancy Fuller.
If Nancy wants to call back
Okay.
and leave her email address, we have a distribution list that Dora Tompkins sends out for just these things. And when she schedules a date, we'll make sure she gets notification, and then she can get it to her group. So just call back here, Joe, at the studio, and if you have an email address, we'll take it off the air. And there's stuff
you hear
crashing all around the studio.
What was
No,
that?
I don't have any idea. So. No, I don't know.
That was interesting.
Yeah, so that was somebody wants to get in and get the coupons already. So
Apparently so.
So why don't you call back to the studio, 480-745-1033. Give Joe an email address, and then we'll get you the information when it becomes available. And there's a lot of those brown bag luncheons. I know Dora Tompkins and you have worked together on creating those. They had one real interesting this summer that a lot of students sat in on, and it was really good for high school students to sit in on,
Yeah, it
about credit.
Yes.
And that went over very well. I mean, I know I was sitting in on it, but there's a lot of questions, so there's those type of things.
Yeah, and that was really good. We had some of our high school students who were taking an orientation to college class, and we filled that class up, which I think is good because that's the best time to learn about credit before you get credit and you make bad choices. So I think that was a great class for them.
It's and those topics will vary, and we do the brown bag luncheon series. There's no charge for it. We do it throughout the county at the different locations, but that's always a lot of fun.
A brown bag lunch series. How does that work out? Is that like 4 or 8 weeks or something like that?
Right now, the way it's working out is there's different topics. Sometimes it'll be the same topic in different locations so that we can hit different parts of the county. But they're basically different topics throughout the year, and people come at lunchtime, bring their lunch, and then there's a guest speaker that talks about pertinent topics for the area. And again, this one with the extreme couponing.
Is there not a charge for that?
No,
No charge.
no charge.
How do I find out about these?
You send the emails that we send out to you. You gotta look at them a little bit.
Is that
more.
what it is? Gotcha.
I should say something really quick. We actually do have we're going to be showing Zorro in one of our classrooms it's August 2nd, and it is at 3 p.m. It's the part of the classic movie summer flicks. And there'll be free popcorn.
Is that the Gay Blade?
No, it's the original.
The original. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that.
I've never seen that one either.
It's
you should come on the 2nd at 3 o'clock and watch it.
What
Get
the-
free popcorn.
I think I'm going to do that.
There's movies that are under public domain which you can show without charge, or
Nice.
there's some of the older movies some of the newer movies that have limited cost to them. But what we've done this way is a way to bring people to the centers is that, especially if in the heat, Dar was doing this. We did Jaws down at the pool this summer,
That is
early in the summer,
cool.
which was pretty cool.
Did you wear your shark outfit?
I was away at that time, or else I
man.
would have get the fins out.
Right,
and everything,
that's
the big
awesome.
teeth. But for something like this, it's they'll show it in one of the one of the rooms, one of the classrooms. It's just something a little bit different to attract people to the center, give them a chance to look around the center, but to watch something without commercial. That's a classic movie. Some of them, we've done a lot of John Wayne movies this summer. And
is it a social event? I mean, do people chat, talk to each other? They just go in and it's really like a classroom thing where you watch the movie?
Come in and chat beforehand. And sometimes we tie. Sometimes they'll tie. We had Dr. Wayne Pryor before we showed Apollo 13. We did that on our campus, and he came in and talked about space program because that's what he does.
He's an astronaut?
No, he does our astronomy.
Oh, he's been in?
He's been on.
That's right.
He was our first guest.
That's right.
We're coming up on our anniversary here soon, the 1-year anniversary.
I mean, him, Neil Armstrong, and a lot of the big astronauts have been in here on your show. Haven't you actually been on the moon?
I wish. So anyway, see. I think that thing that fell behind you, Joe's got your.
I think you hit me in the back of the head,
right.
actually.
So let's remind everybody again. What are the hours of the Santan Center?
Our hours, well, the next couple of weeks are a little off because we're going to be finishing up with classes. But once the fall semester starts, we'll be open from Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. till 9 p.m. and on Saturdays from 7:30 to 4. The next 2 weeks, we're going to be open. We'll be open late a few nights, but we're open the regular 8 to 6. So I think there's a couple days in there. We have a new student orientation, so we'll be open till 9. But we'll have those posted on the door, and when someone calls, we'll be happy to update them with the hours.
And so if someone is working, gets off work at like 7 or 7:30, they can come by and register for classes until 9 o'clock?
Yeah, we do have registration services up until
9 p.m.?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Unfortunately, we don't have any advising, and we don't have any, I think, like, if they have questions regarding financial aid, the district is closed at that time, but we can always give them contact information to follow up the next day.
But if they need their classes and they know what they want, they can pop in if they need help registering.
Yes, we can.
Very nice.
And we do offer proctor testing and placement testing up until 6 p.m. as well.
Okay, well, Kim, this hour has flown by. We only did one break and a lot of information, a ton of calls, and we appreciate you coming on, and we look forward to having you back when the Santan campus
that'll be exciting, yes.
opens.
Nice to see the interest in the Santan campus. I like to see that.
It's going to be very exciting for this area. So for Kim Verdugo and for Joe Carrero, I'm Tom D. Camillo. Thanks for listening to CAC Live on KQCK. We'll check back with you next Thursday at 10:30 a.m. live from the Santan Valley.
Are you ready to start taking control of your future and maximize your earning potential? Central Arizona College has smaller class sizes and personalized attention to help you compete in today's tough job market. CAC now serves Santan Valley and Queen Creek. The CAC Santan Center is located in the shops at Copper Basin on Hunt Highway, behind Barrow's Pizza. Stop in and see how taking classes at CAC costs a fraction of a state university, and your credits can transfer. So, if you want to earn real money, you need to learn real skills at Central Arizona College. Enroll in classes today by calling 480-677-7825 or visit www.centralaz.edu or call 480-677-7825 or visit www.centralaz.edu. Central Arizona College, your way. Santan